Hi guys, so today I'm filming a story time video, and this is my first story time video. So if you guys like it, be sure to thumbs up this video or comment down below and tell me if you want me to do more story time videos, because I do have lots of stories to tell. In my last Puke and Allie, I mentioned that there was only one time that I blacked out from drinking, and I asked if you guys wanted to hear this story, and I figured that with back to school coming, whether you're going to college or high school, teen drinking is just a part of life. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yes, be a little angel and don't drink and go to church. If you want to go to church, that's great, but I think it is very ignorant for people to say in 2015 that teens won't drink. For my family, drinking was never something that was taboo or anything like that. As many of you know, my parents owned bars and restaurants for my entire life, and so I was always around alcohol, not drinking, but if I wanted to have a sip of my aunt's wine or beer, it was never something like, oh no sweetie, you're not allowed. I also live in Montreal where the drinking age is 18. So am I promoting underage drinking? No, but I just feel like, you know, teens are gonna do it, and I figured why not share my story so you can learn from my mistakes, because let me tell you, that one time scarred me forever. I'm 20 now. This happened when I was 17. Even 3 years later, I can barely drink. A little backstory: in high school, my best friend Sierra and we were like the people who primarily hosted the party. She would have a party one weekend, I'd have a party another weekend, and we always had parties. And I was always hosting the parties or helping Sierra, like we would both help each other get ready for the parties. So when I was at parties, I felt like a general sense of responsibility, not only to take care of my house, but to take care of Sierra's house and make sure that everything was like not going crazy. So most of the parties that I went to, I was kind of like not fully enjoying them, because I don't know, at least for me, when I was hosting parties, I was worrying about my dogs, or people were going upstairs or downstairs or where they weren't supposed to be. So in my high school, most of my friends went away to prep school, and it was the summer that everyone had gotten back. It was our first summer after high school, when everyone was coming back to Montreal for the summer. And Sierra's family was moving to Philadelphia that year, so it was like she was leaving. Like, she wasn't going to be coming back to Montreal for holidays and stuff like that. I decided to throw her a surprise going away party, and it was also just like an excuse to have a party, but it was like for her, like it was Sierra's surprise going away party. And so we invited all her friends, like so many people came for her going away party. One of my friends that I'm not friends with anymore, Kitty, some of you guys might be familiar with her, we organized that party the whole day. We made sandwiches, we made cake, we made like so many different things, and we were putting tiki torches around beer pong tables and setting up chairs and setting up bonfires, and we were just doing so much. So that day we decided, you know, we're gonna make a signature cocktail for the girls to enjoy. Kitty had bought this like container for drinks, and I'm good at mixing drinks because I don't like to taste alcohol, so I've kind of developed like my own favorite drinks, and I use a lot of Crystal Light because it really masks the flavor of the drinks. Little did I know that this drink would be my undoing. The drink basically was raspberries, vodka, strawberry lemonade, Crystal Light, and like Sprite or something. So it wasn't that potent. I don't know if the raspberries fermented or something. Like, we are not sure what happened. Let me just preface this by saying that because my parents were so relaxed, like I never felt the need to like get really drunk. Like, even if I'd go to parties or whatever, I was like a pretty casual drinker. I didn't really get drunk ever, but I don't know what happened this night. So when the party started, like, Kitty and I started having like a cup or two of that raspberry lemonade drink. So we're drinking that, it's fine, and then Sarah was arriving around like 9, and she gets there, surprise, she's so surprised. I get her a drink, we're drinking, we're having a great time. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was playing beer pong. I don't know what happened. I don't know how many cups of this drink I had drank either. I mean, it was really good. It didn't taste like alcohol, which is probably really dangerous. But, you know, we were just drinking, having a really good time, playing beer pong, playing games, just chatting with our friends, spending time with our friends before Sierra left. And then the next thing I remember is being inside my house, my kitchen, and we have a bar. And the next thing I remember is grabbing out, you know, Frangelico, Fireball, and like these other bottles of alcohol from the bar. And I had discovered Fireball on New Year's Eve, and I really liked it because I love cinnamon. Not anymore. I remember that Mel, or Makeup by Mel, if you guys remember, she like did a video about this chocolate cake shot and was like, if you mix Frangelico and vodka, it tastes like chocolate cake. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a chocolate cake shot. So I made chocolate cake shots for everyone, did that, did Fireball shots. I don't know what the hell I was doing. And this is not like me. It was a really, really bad idea. I don't know what got into me. I don't know what made me think it was a good idea to be doing all these different shots. it's really, honestly, if you know me, like, you know I can't drink like a glass of wine. Like, I don't drink. So I was doing these shots, and keep in mind, like, this was at my house, and so after that, the next thing I remember is being like, it's like these empty parts in my memory. So the next thing I remember was being outside, and I was sitting on a lounge chair with Mike, and then that was one of my memories, by the fire with Mike. Next thing I remember is being upstairs in my room with Mike. I had come upstairs to like change. I think I ended up in the pool. I don't know. I came upstairs to change with Mike, and Mike saw that I was really not in a good state. So he came with me, and we were in my room, and he tells me the story, and he was like, you just said, I have to go pee. So he knew I was going to puke. So then I started puking, and I was in that room, in my bathroom. So then that's when the real fun started, and that's when I started vomiting, and it was really, really awful. I was like around my toilet, and I was just puking and puking and puking, and luckily Mike was taking such good care of me, like keeping me warm and making sure I was okay. But in my head, like, I was like, oh, I'm fine, like, I'm fine. I was just like really, really sick, and I was puking and puking, and eventually nothing else would come up, and I would just be dry heaving, which is the worst thing in the whole entire world. Then I come to find out that not only am I puking, not only is Kitty puking in my mom's bathroom, but one of my other friends, Ariane, is puking in the basement bathroom, and Sierra is on the main floor vomiting. So somehow all of my close friends ended up getting so sick off of, I don't know what the hell I made, jungle juice or something. I think it was the shots, the drinks, the beer pong. I think everything mixing was just such an awful idea that I ended up blacking out, and that's why I have so many like lapses in my memory. Like, I don't remember going from outside to upstairs. I don't remember going to the bathroom. Like, I don't remember so much of what happened that night. And that is really, really scary, and that is why I don't like to drink. Like, now I have like one drink and I'm good. I don't like to get drunk. I don't like to get wasted. I don't like to party. I like to be in my bed watching Netflix. The thing that made me really think afterwards was that if I was at like a club or a party or a frat house, people could have seriously taken advantage of me, and that's why it's so scary when, you know, young girls go off to college. Maybe they weren't allowed to drink when they were living with their parents, and they get really drunk, and then they get taken advantage of, and you know, it's not their fault. It's really, really scary because people can honestly take advantage of you. Like, it would have been so easy to take advantage of me when I was like blacked out and I have no recollection of what's going on. Like, it would have been so easy for a guy just to, like, you know, grab me and take me somewhere if I wasn't at my house with Mike and my parents watching over me. So the idea of young girls or guys blacking out when they're at parties or frat houses or whatever, parties in college, I've heard stories from my friends. I know how crazy these parties can get. I know I'm like laughing telling the story, but it's not a funny situation to be in. It's not fun puking. It's not fun blacking out. It's not fun. Like, looking back now, I can laugh about it, but when you think about it and you think about what could have happened, it's not funny, and it's not like a good feeling. So my suggestion to you guys is, number one, liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Don't make my mistake of drinking and mixing different liquors, because that's probably also why I was so sick, because different liquors affect your body differently. So that's probably why I was so sick from mixing Fireball and vodka and Frangelico and beer. You need to be really careful, and if you are going away to college this year, you're going to parties, definitely try and drink responsibly. Just because when you're blacking out, you don't have control over your body, you don't have control over yourself. I ended up sleeping it off, and then the next morning I woke up and all my friends just looked at each other and we were like, what the fuck happened? What happened last night? Because none of us had recollection, none of us knew what happened, or you do not need to black out to have a good time. Next morning, all of us were just sitting at the kitchen table, Mike was with me, and everyone was just like, we don't know what happened. Like, all the girls, like, we were like, we don't know what happened. I remember eating a piece of white bread, not toasted, no butter or anything, and it was like the best thing I had ever tasted. If you are at the wrong place or with the wrong crowd, it could have been a really different story. Drink responsibly and don't mix alcohol like I did. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I think talking about it now, it's not, it's kind of funny, but in the moment, it definitely wasn't. Let me know if you guys want more. And for everyone who is starting to drink or going to college or, you know, starting to go to parties, please drink responsibly and stick with a person you trust, stick to the buddy system, and don't mix your alcohol because you will live to regret it. Or maybe, you know what, you could also die from too much alcohol, so you could also not live to tell this tale. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.